time for the ride home in ENC.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
This is your 5 o'clock drive with Patrick Johnson.
Holy mackerel!
More news, more interviews, more ECU stories than you can shake a stick at. Hey, stop shaking that stick. This is the Patrick Johnson Show.
Pirates win! Pirates win!
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome in to the Wednesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show, getting you ready for East Carolina and Wilmington. That will begin at the top of the hour. Dylan Johnson and Dr. Gary Overton, Coach O, will be on the call for that. It'll be a 5:45 airtime on the ECU Sports Network. Patrick is at Minges Coliseum calling the state Eastern Finals, so he is out. Philip Pilkington and Dom Kasulke here filling in for PJ. We also have our intern Ryan in today as well. Dom, it's nice. It's warm. We're all in shorts, baby.
Let's go.
Oh.
We're back. Almost there. I mean, it changes about every week, so it feels like we're back for a week, and then maybe next week it'll be back in the 50s and cold and wet. I don't know. I'm happy right now, though. I'm ready for some baseball. I wish it was here. It'd be more fun if it was here.
It would be. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. Real quick, Dom, this will be your last chance to be on before spring break. I heard you got a trip coming up.
Yeah?
You
Did
excited?
Did you just hear it from in here?
I heard a little bit. I mean, I already knew. You already told me you were going to be there in a couple days. You're on the mountains,
I'm
right?
dumb. Yeah, I'm going to the mountains for a couple of days. It's like outside Asheville. It's on the border. I think it's technically South Carolina, but there's like Pigsaw Mountains trails are like right around there. So it's going to be a short hiking trip with some friends and then our girlfriends. So it'll be fun.
Is the weather supposed to be good up there too?
I'm not 100% sure, but we're going to deal with whatever it is. I hope so.
Okay.
Are
you not 100% sure because you haven't looked yet? Or
yeah, I haven't looked, and it was planned a while back, so the weather, we didn't plan around weather. It's just hoping for the best.
Hope so. Hope it'll be good in Conway this weekend.
Yep.
Not too warm. I hope it's not too warm. My mom is running the Myrtle Beach Marathon Saturday morning, so for her sake, I do not want it to be too warm. But, Saturday afternoon and Sunday can be great.
Yeah, let's hope.
All righty. So moving on now, we are going to this whole show is pretty much going to be our top 5 at 5. And obviously, a shortened show getting you into ECU baseball coverage as part of the ECU Sports Network on 94.3 The Game. So here we go, 5 at 5.
This may very well be our last mission. Let's make it count.
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
It's impossible.
Now some stories you may have heard.
You ready?
Or catch it for the first time. This is your 5 at 5 with the P-Man.
All righty, number 1, Pirates in action on the diamond. We're going to talk about baseball here in a second. However, softball also in action right now. You have to get that one on Flow Softball as they are at the Campbell Fighting Camels. It was a 5 o'clock first pitch. They are just now getting underway. Actually, no stats officially up on Stat Broadcast yet, but we'll go ahead and give it to you quick. I'll just go through the lineup. Kenesha Anderson's leading off. Anna Sawyer, Jenna Kroll, Macy Camillo, Gabby Fowler, Trinity Nichols, Haley Dieter, Mary Catherine Scott, Lillian Martineau, and Julia Apostolakos in the circle for the Pirates. So just quick, that's the lineup. You got to subscribe to Flow Softball. And no, if you have a Flow Baseball subscription, that is not the same thing as Flow Softball. They make you pay for each sport individually, and that's what happens when you put games on, as PJ calls it, ESPN Bulgaria. But hey, we'll keep you updated on that one throughout the show. On to the other diamond, ECU baseball. It is going to be a big week. They've got Wilmington. The team is not coming back to Greenville. They're going to go ahead and head down to Conway tonight to take on the Chanticleers Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Ryan Towers expecting to get the start for East Carolina tonight. He does have 2 appearances this season, went an inning and a third on opening day, I believe. No, Saturday was the second day because it was on the 14th. Valentine's Day was Saturday against Xavier, and he went 2 innings 2 weeks ago against NIU. Did not pitch at all last week. Don't quote me. I want to say he was one of the players that was feeling under the weather. That was the reason for him not pitching. He has thrown 3 1/3 innings so far in a Pirate uniform. So, Dom, they're playing your hometown Wilmington Seahawks.
Yeah.
Do you still kind of pull for Wilmington when they're not playing ECU? I grew up in Charlotte. I used to not have a problem pulling for the 49ers, and then once they joined our conference, now I hate them. But
yeah.
Other than that, what's your thoughts on Wilmington?
Yeah, never been a big UNCW baseball guy. I never kept up with baseball as a kid, being realistic. When I came to college, I started liking baseball a lot more, especially with ECU baseball. What's not to like? But UNCW basketball, I cheered for all the time. I'd go to their games and everything. But now, just with both sports, I can't cheer for them, whether they're playing ECU or not. Just because I'm at home, or just because they're from my hometown, I can't go for them. They're just not my liking anymore.
Fair enough.
Especially not tonight. I'm excited.
Yeah, I knew tonight what the answer would be, but I'm glad you did specify that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no. Figured you were loyal to the purple and gold tonight. So, alrighty, Dom, this going into the season was one of the bigger weeks, I think. And it still is. It's always tough to go down to Brooksfield and play, and then you go down to Conway, Coastal, national runner-up last year. We lose in their regional. We play very well. Now, their two best arms, injured, best reliever, injured. Are they a shell of themselves? Might be a little bit of an overstatement. They're still a darn good baseball team. What is your expectation for the week? Is there anything you're looking for from the Pirates? And then what's kind of the minimum record that you would be okay with? Mine personally is 3-1. I think we need to win tonight and win the series this weekend.
Well, I think teams like that are, that high ranked and have that many good players, they're going to be resilient no matter what, with a couple of their guys out, with starters out. I'd expect ECU to come out with, if Norby can't pitch and the next guy steps up, I expect them to play well enough to give them a chance against any team, and that's just the type of team we are. That's the type of team they are. So I don't think this should be a walk in the park by any means. So I do expect I expect a little bit less than you do. I'm expecting 2-2 on the week. I do expect a win tonight. If we win tonight, then I guess the expectation does go up to winning the series. So, it kind of does depend on tonight, on how we play tonight. But with them having the injured guys, it feels like you got to win 2 of those games. So I guess it really does depend on the outcome of tonight. But you got to take advantage when you're given that advantage. And I feel like our pitching has been good enough to win these type of games. I just think the bat's got to show up. There's been a couple games where they just don't. And against depleted guys, they're going to have to. And with last year starting slow, you're having a chance to start a little bit better. Right now we're 6-5-1. I hate saying that one, as everyone else does.
I was not rolling my eyes at you. I was rolling my eyes at what you had to say.
I know everyone else hates saying it as well. But this is a chance to have a tough schedule in the out-of-conference play and have a pretty good week. And I think they got to capitalize.
Let's hope so. It should be a good one. I'm excited for tonight. I always get up a little more for these Wilmington games. Mm-hmm. I know they're kind of a little brother, but it's not that much of a little brother to me, just because I do think like they are a good baseball program. Midweeks are so weird, man.
Yeah, it feels the same as Campbell. Like we keep seeing them midweeks, and they're always close in competitive games. I don't think they necessarily go the same way as the Campbell games, because they've had our number as of late, but it feels like they're always competitive.
Yeah, exactly. All righty, let's move on now to number 2. We're going to stay on the college side of things, and this is something that I think a lot of the national media guys have given their opinion on so far. Dom, you and I have not had a chance to speak on this. I was listening to some radio earlier today, and this was the main topic, and that is if the Miami Redhawks, who are currently sitting at 30-0, do not win the MAC championship, do we believe, and do you, the folks at home, believe, they should get an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament? I'm going to lay out just kind of some quick things so you guys can form your own opinions at home, as well as give ours here. They are 30-0, as mentioned. They are at Ohio Friday night, wrap up the regular season. That is on ESPN2 at 9 o'clock. And then, obviously, the MAC tournament. MAC champion will, of course, get in, at-large bid, or automatic qualifier like any team. However, their strength of schedule has been abysmal. They've played at 3 non-D1 schools. Their out-of-conference included, I'm just going to read off every non-D1 school they played: Old Dominion, Air Force, Mercyhurst. Yes, that is a D1 school. Arkansas Pine Bluff, UNCG, Maine, UNC Asheville, and Eastern Kentucky. as well as 3 non-D1 schools. Their last 2 games, they have won by 2 points exactly. They got to win by 10 just before that. A lot of these wins have been close. A couple weeks ago, they only beat Buffalo by 2 points. They've had 2 wins in overtime. It hadn't been pretty.
It has not.
30-0 is 30-0. What do you think, Mr. Kasulki? They blow it in the MAC championship game. Do they deserve to be in?
I think they should be in either way, as much as their schedule has not helped them in the terms of quality wins. It's helped them get wins, but you're 30-0 on the season, and it just feels disrespectful to maybe put like a team that's just barely above 500 like Auburn. Like, yes, they're a talented squad, and just because they're in a higher conference, a much better conference at that, I don't think that they deserve a spot when a team can go undefeated for a season up until the conference tournament. If you make it that far, give them a chance. They're probably going to get blown out in either the first or the second game. That is what it is, but that's a part of March. You want to see the Cinderella stories. You want that type of team to be in the tournament. I don't see why you wouldn't put them in with that good of a record. Yes, if they had 2 conference losses right now, I think that could be a different story, which they were very close to doing. You mentioned all the games that they played, but their last 2 games versus Toledo and WMU, Western Michigan, they've only won by 2, and they came down to the very wire. So, I mean, they lose one of those games, and I think there's more of a talking point. I'd like to see them in it. I think it's despicable if they don't.
So if they lose to the Bobcats on Friday night and lose in the conference tournament, does that change your view on this?
I'd like to see them still in it, but I couldn't get as mad as what I would be if they lose in the conference tournament. I don't think there's that big of an argument that I can go against them making it. But that's my point of view. I guess we haven't really heard yours yet. What are you thinking?
Yeah, look, this schedule stinks.
It does.
It's not like they're playing out-of-conference games against teams out of the A-10. They had 1 Mountain West game. Yeah, it was Air Force, though. It was one of the bottom feeders of the Mountain West. But 30-0 is 30-0. You're in the MAC, which is not a great league, but it's not a bad league. Usually the winner of the MAC is one of the higher-seeded, automatic qualifiers. Usually they're on like that 12 to 13 line. This is not like they're coming out of the SWAC. I mean, they're coming out of a conference people have heard of.
Yeah.
They're playing teams people have heard of. So I think they should be in 30-0, even if it's 30-2. Put them in. Let's see what happens. Now, Dom, you brought up a good point. They will probably get blown out, and I am not disagreeing with you. And Joey Brackets never gets the bracket right, but right now he has them playing perennial first-round, first-weekend choke artist, Kentucky.
Oh, okay.
You're picking the Red Hawks to beat the atrocious Mark Pope-coached Kentucky Wildcats?
I think that would be like one of the most interesting first-round games where everyone, when they're making their bracket, that's probably going to be one of the more split games where everyone's kind of undecided, where Kentucky has looked really up and down this year. They've had some great games against good teams. I think they just beat Vanderbilt a few games ago, but then they'll go and crap the bed where they forget how to play basketball. I don't understand them this year. They started out ranked, then they went unranked. They came back to being number 25, and then they lost a couple games in a row, and now they're unranked again. So obviously they've had a tougher schedule, but when it comes to March Madness, a team goes out there, and let's assume they win their Miami, Ohio wins their conference championship. They're going to come out there with some fire ready to play Kentucky. I mean, I could see them winning it. I'm going to pick Miami, Ohio to win that game and then probably lose the next round.
Next round, he's going to play in Kansas. I say if Darren Peterson doesn't play, Kansas waxes him. If he does play, gosh, they look like they don't know what the heck to do when he's on the floor.
They look very off right now. You don't know what you're going to get with Kansas right now. Obviously, he's the best player on the team, but the chemistry is just not there. So I could see Kansas losing at any point as well. That's a couple teams that Miami, Ohio, if they're going to face those seeded teams, that's probably the best type you can see.
I'm with you. Now, one of the other 6-line teams, because they're the 11, as was mentioned, Kentucky was the 6th line, would be BYU, who I still think BYU would outscore them.
Yeah.
But, God, BYU could not guard me, you, Ryan, Patrick, and Igo. I mean, their defense is like Biden's open door border policy. It's so bad.
It's just A.J. Dybansta just going out there playing hero ball every game. Not that it's a bad thing, but he's their offense, and I mean, if you can't stop anybody on defense, you're just going to have to pray that he can drop you 30 and 10 every game, and that's how they win their games. That's the stat line he's dropping when they win. And when he has, somewhat off game, they're getting blown out by teams that they shouldn't be. They should at least be close. So that's another team that I'm probably not going to pick going too far into the tournament.
So I'm not either. So just real quick here, just because we didn't get a break, but for the sake of, I think if they get in 11, if they went out, 11 be seated right there with the first four, that'd be about right. The other 6 seed teams right now, Louisville, who's not playing great basketball.
Nope.
And Carolina.
Yeah, I saw that Carolina was a 6 seed. I think if they beat Duke and play well in the ACC tournament, maybe they could move up a seed or two. I feel like they might be a 5 seed when it comes time to actually get it all set up. Bias aside, I feel like Carolina's that best 6 seed.
Yeah, I think so. Especially if Wilson's healthy.
Yeah, 100%, which I don't know if he should even come back and play against Duke, as much as I'd love him to. If he's not 110%, why throw him out there? I mean, you guys are probably going to win either way, let's be real.
Yeah, I don't think either one of these teams is bad enough to get swept.
Yeah.
I think had Duke won the first game, I maybe be picking Duke at home.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Duke, I don't see Duke getting swept. But who knows?
I don't either.
Stranger things have happened.
Much as I'd love it to happen.
Yeah, I know you would. So, hey, I thought it was going to be a little tighter the other night against the Wolf Puppies, but
I didn't. I said on PJ's show on Monday, I said they're getting blown out. He let me speak.
He did? Wow.
Well,
look at you.
I mean, he told me I was, third mic action. He said I was talking a little too much back here. So apparently I was turning on my mic too much.
Ah, dang it, Tom. All right, well, we won't yell at you today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All righty. Unless you don't, unless when I say take a break, there's just like dead air or something, then I might yell at you. But other than that will wrap it up for our first segment. When we come back, we are going to talk about the World Baseball Classic, which begins tonight. Also, a lot of news going on in the NFL today. That and more still to come on the Wednesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Beep, beep. Move over, Buttercup. We're back to the show.
We're back! And I love them!
This is the Patrick Johnson Show on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Wednesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show. PJ is out. Philip and Dom here filling in for BJ, leading you into network coverage of ECU baseball against UNCW. All right, moving on to our next topic. World Baseball Classic gets underway tonight. It'll be Taipei and Australia doing battle in that one. And, sorry, Dylan Johnson, our announcer, is texting me. Sorry. It's hard for me to say one thing and text another. I apologize. We're making sure that he is good and connected in our studio. So, moving on. World Baseball Classic tonight. Just a reminder, quick. There are 5 teams in each group. You'll play the other 4 teams in your group. Top 2 from each group make it. 4 groups. You go to the quarterfinals, and you play single elimination. Group A, Cuba, Canada, Puerto Rico, Panama, Colombia. Cuba and Canada, the favorites in that group. Group B, Mexico, Italy, Great Britain, Brazil, United States, Mexico, and the U.S. favorites in that one. Group C, Taiwan. I refuse to call them Chinese. Taipei. Come see me, Xi Jinping. I'll meet you in the parking lot, buddy, because you're a wuss. Korea, Japan, Australia, and Czech Republic. Group D, in that one, it's going to be Japan will be the favorite, as well as probably Korea, but Taiwan's not bad. In the Group D, Venezuela, Netherlands, Israel, Dominican Republic, and Nicaragua. I believe it is the Venezuelans and Dominicans that are the favorites in that one. So, obviously, great roster for the U.S., great roster for the Dominican Republic, great roster for Japan. Other than that, I think it's a fall off. Dom, I think these are probably the only 3 teams that can legit win this game, but it is single elimination, so weird stuff can happen, but I will be very shocked if one of these 3 doesn't win it.
Yeah, that's my pick too. You got to have one of those 3 going deep into it, or all of them really are going to go deep into it, but if one of them doesn't make it out of their pool, then I'll be heavily surprised. Like you said, crazy things can happen once you get past that pool play because it just takes one game. But in pool play, if they lose, something's going on. The pitching must be bad because those lineups are not bad enough to not be winning games.
Speaking of pitching, it will be is Paul Skeens getting the ball game 1? No, Scooball.
It's Scooball.
Scooball's getting the ball game 1.
First
Paul
Great
Skeens
Britain.
game 2. Gosh, who's getting it game 3?
Is it Boyd? Is it Matthew Boyd? Or I'm not sure.
No, I think it's guy from the Giants.
Ooh. See if
I knew it. I had it in my head, and then it totally went by the wayside.
Trying to find him. It's not Michael Walker, not Logan Webb.
Yeah, Logan Webb.
Oh, it is Logan Webb. Yeah, you said Giants.
USA
that makes sense.
Pitching.
He's probably the 3rd best on the team. I mean, Michael Walker's good as well. Clay Holmes.
Yeah,
serviceable.
and it looks like Nolan McLean will get the ball game 4. So that's it. So from what we understand, Tariq Skubal, well, actually it's Webb game 1, Skubal game 2, Skeens game 3. Skeens threw yesterday against San Francisco Giants. Big win for Team USA. And then Nolan McLean will go game 4. From what we understand, Skubal's only going to get 1 start, and he's going to rejoin his team. Dom, I think, and even with that not being said, I still think you got to be able to hit the ball, but these guys, they're still in their ramp-up time. They're not going to go deep in games.
Yeah.
Best bullpens could be the difference in winning this whole thing and not winning it.
Well, I do like USA's bullpen. You got Bednar as the closer. Clay Holmes can play as a late inning guy. Clayton Kershaw could go out at any point. Mason Miller, one of the fastest throwers in the entire MLB. Garrett Whitlock, the Red Sox, elite late inning reliever, really an 8th inning guy. So I mean the bullpen is great. I think it's can your starters, do well enough through their 3-4 innings and just get you quality innings to where these bullpen guys aren't going to have to be perfect, because it's just not always going to be that way. You're going to be facing a lot of good lineups later on in the World Baseball Classic. So I think it's pitching in general. I agree. It's going to come down to that. I don't think this lineup is going to falter at any point.
I don't think so. This lineup is stacked in and through. I think the Dominican lineup is stacked.
Mm-hmm.
The Japanese lineup, just a couple notable names. You got Yamamoto, got Shohei. You got the guy from the Giants. Is it Murakami?
Yeah.
Murakami. Suzuki. You got Masahiro Yoshida, and some of these other guys, I don't know their names, but I'm going to go on a limb and say they are the best players in the Japanese baseball league.
Yeah.
And the Japanese baseball league, let's just be honest, is it a step below the major leagues? Yes. Is it a big step below? I don't think so.
Not crazy. They can come over and play with the top dogs right away, and they do, and that's what happens. They can come out and be top of their position real quickly.
Yeah, they can. And look, man, over there, they take it extremely seriously. I think it's a stacked league. The South Korean league is with the KBL is legit too. I think it's Korean roster. Again, it's a bunch of guys we don't know, but if they're over there and they're the stars in that league, those guys who are stars in that league could start on any MLB roster. I'm not saying anybody who starts over there could start over here, but anybody who's good enough to get picked for these teams, they could come over here.
I agree. Play. And you were talking about bullpens, or really just the pitching in general. We were talking about it before the show. The Dominican, their lineup is so deep, but we're not 100% sure on how their pitching is going to be. But looking at their staff, they have a couple guys that can get you deep in games. Sandy Alcantara, he wasn't great last year, but he has the stuff to be great. And I think their best pitcher, one of the best pitchers in the entire league, Christopher Sanchez from the Phillies. He's going to be their ace of their team 100%. They got Brian Bayo, who's Red Sox 3-4 starter, so he can go out and get you some innings. He pitched well today. I think 3 innings, just 1 earned run, better than what he had been doing. And then they got Sir Anthony Dominguez in the bullpen, Camilo Doval, Wandy Peralta, Luis Severino and Gregory Soto. It's not like the biggest names in the world, but they're guys that are serviceable, and they can get you through games with that type of lineup.
That's the thing. They can eat innings. That's what it's going to take, especially when you've got in your lineup Ketel Marte, Vladdy Jr., Manny Machado, Julio Rodriguez, Jr., Juan Soto,
Caminero.
Yeah, O'Neal Cruz, Fernando Tatis Jr.
That's 7. That's 7 of their lineup right there, and that's an insane lineup. That's some of the top of their position.
Who you got? I picked Japan earlier on Steven's show. They've won it 3 out of the 5 times we've had it. I think this means to them what us beating Canada in hockey meant to us. So I'm going with Japan. Who you got?
My heart says USA, but my brain, I'm going to go with the Dominican. I think they're going to come through this year.
All righty. Dominican, they have won it. They've won it once, same amount of times as the United States.
Yeah. So looking at the pools, where after the pool play, do you play, pool B and pool A play each other? Is that how that works exactly?
Yeah, I think the winner of A plays the second place team from B, and so on. Let's go WBC.
Okay, so USA would be playing Canada, Colombia, Cuba, Panama, or Puerto Rico, so they get to stay away from the Dominican and Japan in that case.
Huge.
So it feels like it's going to be USA versus either Japan or the Dominican. That's just what it's feeling like if that's how that format goes.
Well, I think, here's the bracket. Quarterfinals. Should have had this pulled up. I have a lot of notes pulled up today. This is one of the things I did not pull up was the bracket. Okay, here we go. Yes, so winner of A will play runner-up from B and vice versa, and then the winner of those 2 quarterfinals do play each other again. So, yeah, the United States would get either another team from that bracket or replay Cuba, Canada, Panama, Colombia. So, to your point, there's no scenario where the United States meets the Dominican Republic or Japan early. What's going to be crazy is what happens if the Dominican or Japan finishes second in their group, and then they've got to play each other.
It's better for the
first
USA.
elimination game.
I mean, I hope it happens that way. Just get one of the best teams out of there and then make them crawl their way to fight USA in the final or the championship.
I like it. I'm excited. I'm going to watch.
I am too.
I'm going to watch like the first inning tonight, even though like this is one of the least intriguing matchups, Taiwan and Australia. Like I'm not getting out of here till 9:30. I'm going to watch a few minutes of it just to like, hey, it's the World Baseball Classic. So
I'm extra excited just because Roman Anthony's on the team. Not to be a homer, but I am.
Fair enough.
Extra excited to see a 21-year-old join the team and being one of the starting outfielders.
Hey, we get to not be upset when Judge hits a home run. That'll be nice.
Yeah, exactly. He hit one today.
He did.
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on. We're going to have to go kind of quick with this segment, so we might condense it. We're going to kind of do NFL. Let's just stick to kind of the big ones. We might eliminate some.
Okay.
The first one was announced yesterday, I guess, that Kyler Murray, we kind of already knew this, is going to be released when the new league season starts, and he is being tied to your Dom Kasolki Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, that's a lot of mixed feelings going on hearing that he's tied to Minnesota. I think in his early years as a Cardinal, he was phenomenal. He can make anything happen with his legs, and he does have a deep ball. I'm not 100% sure that he would fit in Kevin O'Connell's scheme, and I'm not 100% sure that if we're wanting JJ to be the future, this isn't a guy that I feel like JJ is going to sit from and be the veteran that he learns from. I mean, I guess it could happen, but I feel like a Kirk or a Geno he'd learn from more. Not necessarily that I want them more. But I want JJ to be the long-term guy. I still believe in him, so I feel like Kyler is more of a let's get him and he's going to be our guy unless he gets injured. That's what I feel like the Vikings are thinking if they're going to pick him up. I don't feel like it's let's get him for a year and then, sayonara and JJ, you're the guy again. You learn for another year. I think it's Kyler being the starter. That's not exactly what I want, but at the same time, he's played so well in other years that I could see him, being well with that offensive line, hopefully improving, and the receiving core being great.
Next, that I was going to ask you, is this a wise move for the Cardinals? I personally think yes. Where do you stand on that? And what do you think they do next? I think they blow it up and restart.
I think it's a wise move unless the reports about Malik Willis getting $30 million a year to them is not. I don't know. You didn't see any of those reports?
No.
Yeah, there was a report that the Cardinals are looking at Malik Willis and it would be a $30 million a year contract. I think that's ridiculous if they go away from Kyler and then sign another guy that plays somewhat like Kyler for $30 million. You can get Kyler a lot cheaper at this point. I think it would be a bad move. I'd just stick with Jacoby Brissett if you're going to try to blow it up and tank because he knows how to get your guys some yards and then lose games. So,
I know bullying is bad, but now that we've taken where like no bullying, having zero tolerance, it allows people to do stupid things so they won't get bullied. If anybody gives Malik Willis $30 million, anyone in the United States should have the right to bully them.
Yeah, 100%.
Now, don't cross the line. No going telling people to off themselves. Let's not go crazy here. But you can tell somebody they're a moron.
100%.
If you give Malik Willis $30 million, you are a moron.
That's a firing offense.
Yes.
It's going to get you
tarred
fired.
and feathered, and your house should be toilet papered. No true vandalism, no actually tearing stuff up. You're not promoting actual crime here. But toilet papering the house does not actually cause any damage. Cardinal fans should toilet paper that guy's house.
Yeah, I hope they don't do that for their sake, but at the same time, another NFC team, go be stupid. I don't care, man.
That ain't the NFC West team I'm worried about, homie.
Very true. Well, I bet you're going to that next.
Yeah, this is probably the only other one we're going to have time to get to today. Big trade happened today. Trent McDuffie, corner, who was a member of the Kansas City Chiefs, who didn't make the playoffs, has been traded to the Los Angeles Rams, who are continuing to get better. Rams do forfeit some picks. Now, reminder, they've got had two first-round picks this year. They keep Atlanta's, which is happening in the early teens. They trade their own, which was happening at the end and obviously made the NFC Championship game. They also gave up a 5th and a 6th this year and a 3rd rounder for next year. I think this is a lot for McDuffie, but the Rams, they need some corners, and, they've got a pretty good roster. It's not like they need a crap ton of picks to put them over that hump.
Yeah, it's pretty steep for a corner, although Trent McDuffie, top 5, top 10 corner in the league. So I get what they're doing, especially when that was their weakness. Last year, their cornerback play just was not good enough. So when they go out and get a guy like that, and you're running it back with Matthew Stafford and the squad you just had, and you were pretty darn close to a Super Bowl, you go out and get what you need, and you go for it for one more year, because I don't know how long Stafford's going to be chugging along for. I know he's tough, but he's getting up there in age. So you got to go try to win now. They already did it before where they gave away their picks. They won the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They're doing it again. Let's go get the star player that we need, and let's go win another one.
I can't blame them, man. I can't. Look, like you said, try and win one more. Look, you need a corner. And now McDuffie's solid, but I'm telling you, McDuffie, just giving you a heads up. You used to guard Cortland Sutton twice a year. You used to guard, I guess, Ladd McConkey. You used to guard whoever's on the Raiders, Jacoby Myers. Good luck with Jackson Smith and Jigba. That's the reason you're going to L.A. That's the reason they lost the playoff game and didn't make the Super Bowl. They would have won the Super Bowl, but JSN kicked their rear end. Good luck, buddy.
That's who it is. I mean, anyone else in that division is not – I don't see any other wide receivers in that division that are that big of a threat.
Exactly.
I mean, Ayuk's
Other
gone.
than Puka, but he's going to guard him in practice.
Well, obviously. But Cardinals and 49ers don't have anyone that he's going to have to go out there and guard that he hasn't been able to before.
Exactly. All right, we got to get a break in so we can come back to do our 5th and final 5 at 5. So that's still to come here. It is the Wednesday edition of the Patrick Johnson Show.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Daughtridge Gas and Oil has been your dependable propane supplier for 95 years. Their trained technicians can service and properly install all your propane and natural gas appliances. Plus, Daughtridge Gas and Oil is your backyard expert with fire pits, grills, smokers, and more, including quality outdoor furniture at their Greenville Patio and Hearth Shop at 1901 Charles Boulevard. Go by and see the knowledgeable staff at Daughtridge Gas and Oil for propane delivery or call 756-1345.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Alan, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get it.
And now, the stunning conclusion.
Why is everyone screaming?
On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back into the Patrick Johnson Show as we wrap it up here today. Shortened show. PJ will be back tomorrow for an extended show leading you into basketball coverage, but a shortened show today as East Carolina baseball. Dylan Johnson, Dr. Gary Overton will be bringing you that at, network will begin at 1:45. It'll be just after 6 o'clock first pitch. So, our fifth story in the 5 at 5, they've all been fun. This one on a sadder side, it is announced that earlier today, legendary coach Lou Holtz and father of former East Carolina head coach Skip Holtz has passed away at the age of 89. Lou obviously spent many years with Notre Dame, South Carolina, as well as various other stops around the country, including NC State, 1 year with the New York Jets, Arkansas, Minnesota. So, Coach Holtz passing away. I'm just old enough to remember Coach Holtz's time wrapping it up there at South Carolina. Obviously, I know Skip from his time here. I wasn't here yet, but I have met Skip, and Skip's great. And I've heard nothing but wonderful things about his dad. Dom, I think you're a little young to remember Coach Holtz. He was still coaching in your lifetime, but I guess you were just getting out of diapers, I think, when he wrapped it up in 2004, huh?
Yeah, not my cup of tea right now.
Yeah. Not your cup of tea. What, you don't like the guy?
Oh, definitely not what I'm saying. Don't try to cancel me on here. What are you trying to do?
I don't think that'd be cancel culture available, but Also, because his political views don't align with the cancel culture people. The cancel culture people probably like you bagging on Coach Holtz. But anyways, that's a conversation for the morning show. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Thanks to Dom. Thanks to intern Ryan. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. PJ, back tomorrow. Stay tuned. Pirate Baseball is next. East Carolina and UNC Wilmington from Brooks Field down in Wilmington. You can hear it right here on 94.3 The Game. We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great rest of your evening, Pirate Nation.